The universe will keep teaching you lessons until you get the lessons. So I was presented once again with an opportunity to learn. And then through no fault of her own, my wife makes me make some realizations about how I view people and how I view the world. If I do this, then you'll give me love. And then that further makes me realize that I don't know how to absolutely love myself. Then I realize I can fix it. I've never explored feelings before. Like, fuck that.
What the hell's going on out here?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Fueled by Spite. As always, I am your host, Dr. James Taylor. This is the conclusion. This is the trifecta. What? No, that's three different things. This is all a continuation. Whatever. This is part 3. Let's just call it that. This is part 3 of the Vegas shit show that started whatever this is that sits before you right now. So to bring you up to speed real quick, man, I did an unintentional deep dive that was put upon me. No, that was presented to me. Okay, real quick, making just connections and analogies. You ever seen Pursuit of Happiness? Will Smith, he's a whatever. He's a guy who's struggling. Same, right? But so his son in the movie tells a joke. There's a boat, it sinks, and there's a guy there on some driftwood, floating around, and this rescue vessel comes by, and he's like, "Hey, we're here to rescue you." And the floating guy's like, "No, it's okay. God will save me." And the guy's like, "No, get in." He's like, "No, it's okay. God will save me." And the boat floats away. And the next rescue vessel comes by, and the guy's sitting there is like floating on a little piece of wreckage, flotsam and jetsam, if you will. Hey, we're here to save you. He's like, "Don't worry, God will save me." He's like, "No, get in the fucking boat." And like, "No, it's fine. God will save me." He's sitting there floating in the ocean. Boat goes away. Another boat comes by, sitting there. "Hey, dude, get in the boat." And he's like, "No, it's okay. It's floating there." God, if you guys are watching this or listening to this, if you watch this on YouTube, I'm doing little floaty motions with my hands, because he's rocking on the waves. Third boat, "Get in the boat." "No, God will save me." Okay, fine. So what happens? The guy drowns. He gets up to heaven, and he's like, "God, what the hell, dude? You're supposed to save me." And God's like, "I sent you 3 boats, you dummy." Flash forward, if you haven't heard this before, you've heard it for the first time now. I've heard this thousands of times. The universe will keep teaching you lessons until you get the lessons. So I was presented once again with an opportunity to learn. And this time I took it unintentionally, but it's working out pretty goddamn well. I had a shit time in Vegas. And then I came back home and I had a real shitty 24 hours. And it was shitty. The Vegas time was shitty because of the circumstance. The 24 hours post Vegas was shitty because of what was going on in my head. And I put this whole thing down on paper just to bring you up to speed real quick. See here, where is it? Okay. I go to Vegas. I get hungover. I get a stomach bug. I miss the fight. The whole reason I'm in Vegas, I feel I let people down. And I come home, and then through no fault of her own, my wife makes me make some realizations about how I view people and how I view the world. And then the fact that I feel like I've done so much of the great things I've done for other people. So they'll tell me that they love me. And if I take away these things, if I take away these great accomplishments of my own that I've done to gain admiration from others, I realize the admiration that I have for myself is minuscule. The amount of love and self-worth that I personally have, that I poured into myself, is absolutely fucking empty. It's gone. It's so non-existent. And that makes me feel incredibly bad because I have apparently, through no fault of theirs, through all fault of my own, done all these things to impress others. If I do this, then you'll give me love. And I make that realization. I'm upset with myself that I've done that. And then that further makes me realize that I don't know how to absolutely love myself. And then I'm getting down on myself because I haven't taken the time to actually love me. I haven't taken the time to do things for me, things that I like and I love, and things that make me feel good about me. And that makes me sad. Then I realize I can fix it. For the first time that I can recall, I was like, "Hey, wait, I can just fix this myself. I can explore." Yeah, no, that's it. Not even fix this. I can explore these feelings. I've never explored feelings before. Like, fuck that. But here I am, given the opportunity to explore feelings. And for the first time, I decide to take that opportunity. And so I share this journal that I wrote. Catch the previous episode, episode 2 of whatever this is going to be, where I share that journal. Because in the past, I would have taken that to the grave. You would have never heard of it. You'd never knew it existed. You wouldn't have known anything about it. You wouldn't know my feelings because I wouldn't let you. So I share this journal with a whole bunch of people, and then here I am sharing it with you, for whatever fucking reason. And then I'm on a call with a coach, and I share the journal with him. And his name is Mark from Unforget Yourself. If you guys have the opportunity, and you absolutely do, I strongly suggest you look up this consultant, this coach, Mark. Mark, I don't remember your last name, but Unforget Yourself. It's fantastic. It truly is. And I talked about one of his previous tools for feeling better. It's basically a wheel. I don't remember what the wheel is called, but it's a wheel. And you put something in the middle of it that you're not happy about, and then you just flip it. And I think I put in the episode like, I'm unorganized. And then I flip it. I put I am organized. And then you write just your next best thought around the wheel. Go back and check out that episode too. Um, so I'm sitting here and I'm in my feelings, and I am unable to do I'm unable to flip it. So I tell Mark about this, and I share my journal with him. And I don't even recall exactly what our call was about, but I recall being excited because at the end of the journal, and again, you got to catch this. I'm not trying to create FOMO, but this is going to lay a whole lot of groundwork. At the end of this absolute shit show that was my Vegas experience, and that was the journaling, I have a realization that I can do better. I can do so much better. I have the opportunity to do better. And I'm actually going to take the opportunity for the first time first time in ever. So I made the switch. I made the flip. I'm proud of myself because I flipped it. Fast forward, and this is all within the last, today's the 27th. This started on the 14th. So this is all within the last 2 weeks. So this last Tuesday, which will now be like 3 weeks removed from when this episode's going to drop, this last Tuesday, we have a shitty afternoon at the office, and we've got a whole bunch of people on the schedule, but they all reschedule, and it turned out to just be a shitty day. Like I want to say, like half of the people rescheduled, and we're getting to the end of the day, and man, and I'm upset. I'm upset that people didn't make their commitments, didn't keep their commitments. I'm upset that I hadn't done better in business to avoid this situation. But businesses have ups and downs. Yeah, but I don't want mine to have downs. So I'm upset at the whole thing. I'm hating the world and everything in it, and especially everybody in it. And this is a Tuesday evening, and she's, hey, I'm going to take the kids. We're going to go catch a friend's football game. Her son's playing. Perfect. Honey, you got to go do your most favorite thing. What's my most favorite thing? Eating alone. Fuck yeah. So I go off and I do one of my most favorite things, and I eat alone. And I'm eating by myself. I'm at Baja Cantina. They've got delicious margaritas, and you're only allowed two because they're that delicious. And so I get done eating, and I'm pissed off at the evening. I'm pissed off at the world. Um, I'm happy that I've got these two delicious margaritas in my body. I come home, and even though I know full well that the family isn't going to be there when I get there and they're not there, as I was made aware and as I had agreed to, but I'm upset that they're not there. Why aren't you home?" And so I go in and I let the dogs out, and I'm like, "You know what? I want to continue drinking." And I reach in the cabinet and I grab a bottle of wine. And I'm not much of a wine drinker, but I grab a bottle of wine and I uncork it. And the bottle was a gift. It was a gift from a patient. And he comes in and we had talked about it. And he and I on occasion are making a bit of a connection over time here beyond the doctor patient relationship. And so much so he gives me this bottle of wine and he really likes it. And he goes, "Hey, like just whenever you decide to uncork this, enjoy it." So I'm like, "Oh, I'm having a shit day. Here's a bottle of wine. I'm going to enjoy it." So I pour myself a glass and I'm out on the patio and I grab a cigar, and I'm not a cigar guy either. I'm not a wine guy, I'm not a cigar guy. So here I am, a guy doing things that I'm not that I enjoy, but I'm not necessarily accustomed to, that I don't necessarily make time for. And I'm playing fetch with my dog and I'm enjoying a nice glass of wine that was a gift. And I'm enjoying a cigar that makes me feel fancy. And I'm sitting on my patio and it's sunset and the sun drops over my backyard and it casts these wonderful colors over my house. And there's that bright white where the sun is just crossing the horizon, and then it transforms into that orange, into that blue, that cyan color as it comes up over the house. There's a couple of clouds out there, so then there's that deep purple as it comes through the clouds that hits the deep purple into that midnight blue over the house as we're sitting over dusk. And man, doesn't that sound beautiful? And I'm fucking pissed. And I'm just pissed at the day. I'm pissed that people didn't show up for their appointments. I'm pissed that my family's not home, even though they told me they're not going to be there. And then I'm pissed at myself for sitting in this wonderful situation. I'm in I'm on a patio with this great furniture, this great layout. I have designed and constructed this patio, and it is attached to this beautiful house that I own. Bank owns, whatever. But it is the house. It's literally, I put together a checklist of everything I wanted in a house, and this house has 99. It met everything on the list but one, and I don't even remember what the one thing is it didn't meet. I've got the biggest yard in the cul-de-sac, and I'm playing fetch with my dogs, and I'm pissed. And I have all these great things. Excuse me, and I am mad. And I realized, like, why the hell am I mad? Like, look at do you know how many people would love to be in my situation right now? I'm sitting here. I look important because I have a tie on. My feet are up, and I've got, I've got my wingtip shoes on, and you can see my fancy socks. And I've got a glass of wine that I'm holding like I'm important for some reason. And I've got a nice fat cigar in the other hand, and I feel like I look like a wonderful stereotype of what success is supposed to be like, and I am upset about it. And then I am upset because I'm upset. Why am I not grateful? For a brief moment I did the right thing. I made that realization. I made the realization that I have all these awesome things and I should be grateful for it. That's a good realization to have. But then I got myself upset because I was upset. But then, going back to a previous episode, I started to explore that feeling. What was it? Now, in the past, I touched on this on the last episode, but in the past, I have fought this urge. I have fought this opportunity to sit in my feelings, because to me, James Taylor, dude, El Duderino, if you're into the whole brevity thing, thought that sitting in your I didn't know how to sit in my feelings. And that sounded dumb and stupid and feminine. It sounded feminine to sit in your feelings. But I realized it's okay to be upset because so much of my life has been a this isn't going to come off the way I want it to, but to put on a show, to put on a show of happiness, of expertise, of efficiency, of being unflappable, if you will. I'm not supposed to be upset. And I'm upset for being upset, but then I'm like, but wait a minute, like people didn't show up. It's okay to be upset about that. But at 7:30 p.m. on a Tuesday when the office closes at 6, I can be upset about that. Even though in the past, like, well, like, there's nothing you can do about it, so might as well not be upset. No, those things can both exist separately. It's 7:30 p.m. on a Tuesday, and the people that were supposed to show up that day in the office didn't show up. So yes, there is nothing I can do about it now. But I can definitely do something about it tomorrow morning. I can send out emails tomorrow morning. I can make better content to put out tomorrow morning. Hell, I can if I wanted to right now at 7:30 p.m. on a Tuesday, I can go up in the office and start hammering out stuff. Or I can sit here and sit in my feelings, if you will. I can sit here and I can be upset that people didn't show up. But I can also realize there's nothing I can do about it right now at 7:30 p.m. on a Tuesday. But there is something I can do about it tomorrow morning. So right now, I can sit here and I can enjoy this glass of wine that was a gift. It was a good glass of wine. And I can enjoy this cigar that makes me feel accomplished. And I can look down at my lovely dumb dog as she's sitting there struggling to let the ball out of her mouth so I can throw it again. She has the hardest time letting go of the ball. Like she'll chew on it for like 15 seconds before she like actually opens her mouth enough for it to pop out. And I can enjoy everything about this. I can enjoy the sunset like my wife enjoys the sunset, knowing full well that the day didn't go as planned, but also knowing there's nothing I can do about it now. There is something, but it's also something that I could easily just do tomorrow morning. And that's not a procrastination thing. That's not a kicking the can down the road thing. That's a tomorrow is a better time to handle this than right now. Right now, I can sit in my feelings. I can sit in gratitude of the awesomeness that I am. And I say that not from a place of narcissism, maybe a little bit, but from a place of true gratitude. So I had the opportunity to go to Vegas and I fucked it up, but that gave me the opportunity to actually explore feelings that I hadn't ever explored, that I've had that have been there forever, but I've never explored them. And I actually, for the first time in 40 years, an unknown amount of opportunities, took the opportunity to do that. And that allowed me the realization that I can actually decide to do things for me, to pour into me, to love me. And then I was presented with another opportunity to be mad at myself, to be mad at what I had done and what I had accomplished for others. I was presented with an opportunity to be mad at others for not doing what I wanted them to do. And instead I took that opportunity and man, somehow turned it into an opportunity to be grateful and to have gratitude for all that I have. But still know full well that I can solve this on my own. But not again, not in a it's me against the world way, in a hey, I have the tools and I have the strengths to do this. And then I go back to Mark and I tell him this, and I tell him this story, this revelation, this thing I did great for a second time, this time on the patio. And then he's like, okay, so now that we're working on this muscle, we're working on this muscle of staying in this place. Is that where you want to be? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Like this is fun. This is new. This is exciting. And he goes, is this where future James wants to be? So I share that with you to share the next revelation that I'm going to have. He gave me an exercise and I am quite excited to do it because we talked about where I want the business. We talked about where I want James to be in the future. And a lot of this thought, and I think the biggest part about this is why I haven't really explored this before, is because it's all been up here. I haven't had anything to attach it to. And he goes, when you do these thought experiments, he goes, it's great that you wrote this stuff down because you can go back to it. It's a totem, if you will. It is a symbol. It's tangible. He goes, you need to take these thoughts and anchor them to tangible things. So next time you want to investigate this, because it's going to come sooner rather than later, grab your glass and then grab another one. Like, what do you mean? He goes, you're going to pour 2 glasses and you're going to invite future James to sit down and have a conversation with you. And it's the 2 glasses that are going to make the whole thing work. And I have every ounce of faith in it that it will. It's such a cool thought experiment. It's such a cool way, one, to anchor me in the moment. I mean, I know it's going to work because I've already decided it's going to work. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to have 2 glasses of bourbon. One's for me and the other's for me. And I'm going to put myself into where I want to be. And I'm going to ask myself questions about how I got there. And I'm going to give myself the answers. Go back 3 episodes. Go back to the Vegas debacle or whatever it is. The first one where I'm wearing this shirt and this hat. Because I go through this whole big thing about this pit of despair that I was in. This pit of this self, like I dug the pit. I dug it myself and then I jumped into the bottom of it. And then now I'm digging myself out. And like for the first time ever, like I'm exploring this whole thing. Because at the end of that pit of despair, when I'm in the bottom of it, I realize that I can fix it. And again, not from a narcissistic standpoint, not from a look at me standpoint, but from a legitimate curiosity about how I work. And I'm super excited to sit down and talk with myself and ask myself the questions about how I became great. It's going to be a good one. I ended the last one like this, and I'll do it with this one too. I will learn more from me by accident than elsewhere by design. And you know what? Actually, as I say that, this whole thing started off as an accident, but it's becoming incredibly purposeful. And I really hope you watch the previous 2 episodes because this is I'm not gonna lie, I'm doing this 100% for me, but I'm sharing the journey with you. And I strongly encourage you to start the journey yourself. And man, the shitty part is like something really bad had to happen for me to start this. So I'm hoping that you don't have to do that bad thing. It wasn't like that. That came off weird. Whatever. You will learn more here by accident than elsewhere by design, right here on Fueled by Spite. I am doing this in spite of my past self. Shit, look at this growth. This is awesome. You guys have a great rest of your day. I'll see you later.